Welcome back. Having completed our discussion of the doctrine and method of Sufism in our last segment, now we'll turn to a discussion of various Sufi orders. I'll begin by speaking about the organization of some of the major Sufi orders, or turuq, plural of tariqa, as they've existed during the last 900 years. First of all, a tariqa is based on the relationship between a spiritual master, or sheikh, and the disciples. There's a bond between them that emanates from the Prophet of Islam, and that has been handed down from generation to generation. The chain of transmission, or silsila, meaning chain in Arabic, connects each Sufi order to its origin, which is not only the Prophet, but on another level, Gabriel before him, and God before him. In all Sufi orders, the silsila is public knowledge. The current sheikh or sheikha, female sheikh of the order, can trace his or her lineage through the previous sheikh to the sheikh before him or her, and so forth, all the way back to the Prophet. It is this which guarantees the orthodox regularity of the transmission of spiritual teachings and guidance that is absolutely essential in Sufism. In the early centuries, Sufi orders did not have particular names. Groups formed consisting of a master and the disciples. Many of the disciples themselves would become masters, and they in turn would have disciples. Gradually, in the 5th Islamic century, the 11th century AD, there arose a more organized form of Sufism, known as the Sufi order. For those of you who've studied Christian history, it's like the Benedictine order, which was established by Saint Benedict, or the Franciscan order. Now, it isn't that there were no monks or no contemplatives before Saint Benedict, but he came and assembled them and organized them and founded the orders. Except in Christianity, you have monks, and in Islam, you do not have monks. That is, members of Sufi tariqas can be butchers, carpenters, prime ministers, soldiers, teachers, anything. They're integrated into society. They're not a separate society outwardly. Now, I'd like to discuss some of the major Sufi orders and their characteristics. It's usually the case that the name of the order is taken from the name of the founder. One of the earliest Sufi orders is the Qadiri order, founded by Abdul Qadir al-Jilani from the Persian province of Jilan. It's one of the most influential of all Sufi orders. Geographically, it's found from the Philippines to Mauritania and from Finland to South Africa. It's the only order which spread to the whole of the Islamic world. Sheikh Abdul Qadir only married when he was 51 years old. He was a very great scholar of Islamic law and authority in many other Islamic subjects. And then he had 30 sons. Almost all of them became great saints who spread the order around the world, starting in today's Pakistan. Another early Sufi order is the Rifa'i order, whose founder Ahmed al-Rifa'i was an Arab from Iraq. The center of the Rifa'i order has always been southern Iraq. Many branches exist in Egypt, Turkey, and East Africa, but it's never had the geographical expanse of the Qadiriyya order. Both of these orders have been in existence for 900 years. In North Africa, besides the Qadiriyya order, the most important is the Shadhiliyya. It was founded by a great saint of Islam, Sheikh Abul Hassan al-Shadhili, who was born in Morocco in the 12th century AD. After having a vision, he went to Egypt where he established the order, which then spread across North Africa into Spain. For the past few centuries, it's been the most intellectually powerful of all the Sufi orders in the Islamic world, especially in North Africa. In Egypt, it remains the most powerful Sufi order to this day, with many scholars at El-Ansary University as members. The Mevlevi order, or Mevlevi in Turkey, was founded by the great Persian poet Jalaluddin Rumi in the 13th century AD. It was a powerful force in the Ottoman Empire. Even today, despite all that Ataturk did to suppress it, Sufism is still popular in Turkey. It's an order that emphasizes divine love and uses the rich, poetic language of longing for the divine beloved to describe the pain of separation of the soul from God. Their dhikr ceremony involves moving in a circle, and it led to their being called the whirling dervishes. Their fame is widespread, but their order is found mostly in Turkey and Turkish-influenced areas. The Naqshbandi order was founded in the 13th and 14th century AD in Central Asia by the Persian Bahad-Din Naqshband. During the 700 years of its existence, it's produced some towering spiritual figures who have changed the history of parts of the Islamic world. The order played a major role in India, as well as in Egypt, and spread as far as Russia and even China. The Ni'matullahi order is predominantly a Persian order, whose influence has always been most strongly felt in Iran. Its founder, Shah Ni'matullah, was born in 1330 AD in Syria. His father himself was a Sufi master. The order emphasizes engaging fully with the world, not retreating from it, while inwardly living a life of simplicity and spiritual discipline. The Chishtiya order, which was responsible for the Islamization of India, was founded by Mu'in ad-Din Chishti, born in the village of Chist in the 10th century AD near the Persian-Afghan border of today. At the age of 12, he was taken to India, where, by the time he died, it is said that over 500,000 people had become his disciples. Sheikh Chishti urged his followers to avoid worldly entanglements and not to seek power. The order welcomes all people, and they hold large festivals in India. The devotional Sufi music called Qawwali, whose influence is heard in world music today, originated with Chishti Sufis. So these are a few of the major Turuq or Sufi orders. Some have regional influence, others span the whole of the Islamic world. The reasons for this difference are not clearly defined. It's a question of ethnic sympathies and relationships, and also of destiny. In the past few decades, as communication and travel have become easier, and as many people in the West have sought spiritual guidance outside their traditional religions, several Sufi orders have established branches in Europe and the Americas. This concludes our segment on Sufi orders and Tasawwuf. In our next segment, we'll turn to Islamic theology, Kalam, and philosophy, Falsafa.